Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another week's episode of the Weeb Weekly. I am your host, Nixie Comedy on TikTok and Hammer23 on Twitch and YouTube, and I am joined by the not breaking it down, Jose. The energy level is a little low today.
Yeah, it's been a long ass day at work, so I'm slightly less energy, but I'm all in on the hype. Mizu, how are you doing?
I'm doing great as well.
All right, energy across the board. It seems like we have a relatively big week, pretty news heavy week to talk about this week. Because I mean, obviously there is the one thing, right? There's the Eternals came out, and we actually yesterday broke down the Eternals with a new friend of the pod, the Panda Red. Fantastic episode, really fun. Over on the Patreon, we talked everything from the repercussions of what this means for the MCU, the Eternals, a critical reception, and what we'd like to see out of the future of it. Just to quickly to glance over it, though, I think we'd be remiss to not talk about it in the Weeb Weekly proper. Even just shortly, when it comes down to it, the movie was good. The movie was very good, and I think the critical reception kind of flopping kind of speaks to the audience in terms of like what the average audience is expecting from a superhero movie. I think people are expecting, like Superman to be punching people through walls and Thor to be like battling suns and all of that. But like for some reason, nuanced storytelling seems to be underappreciated in the superhero genre, which is weird to me because like, why not? Like not every superhero movie has to be like, who's the guy that made the Transformers movies?
Michael Bay, bro.
Yeah,
Michael
not everything
Bay.
has to be Michael Bay. I think Chloe Zhao did a very good job of telling a cinematographically and soundtrackly beautiful movie, and I think that's underappreciated. What about you guys?
I think we honestly, if for this movie to tell the story of 10 aliens with godly powers that have surprisingly grounded emotional connections to humanity, was a success in and of itself. Visually, it looks amazing. The soundtrack is also great. It also does feel to a certain extent it had too much to do. So the movie tried to do a little bit too much because it in my opinion it did a solid job trying to bring something new to the table in the terms of exploration of these larger than life characters, but at the same time at the ending of the movie and near the second to the third act, it tried to make itself very clearly an MCU movie. So
Yes.
it was like something new and then back to the formula. So it's kind of those butting of the heads that maybe doesn't land that well with a lot of people, but I personally did enjoy it. So I think if you're looking for a fun time with an MCU movie that's going to hype you up for the upcoming projects, I think this is a must watch if you're any type of an MCU fan. Just don't believe what you read on the internet, as with everything.
Never believe what you do. Your own research. Every time and everywhere you see something, do your own research. Don't trust other people. Not even us. Actually, no. Trust us. We listen. I did the research. Okay, listen to me. No, okay. Obviously, all right. So Mizu, what did you think about it? Do you think the nuances? You think that nuance is something that we can inject into the Marvel sphere? Or do you think this is a failed experiment?
Actually, funny enough, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something I wanted to say in the last pod when we actually went in depth, is that I definitely agree with you with the sense of, yeah, we should add more nuance. And what's wrong with the idea of telling specific stories that don't necessarily have to go into a grandiose plot? And I think that's one of the things that I feel like I'll give them this. The DCEU has the advantage in is that they can do both stories that connect and stories that don't.
Yeah.
While Marvel has to do stories that pretty much have to connect in some way, form, or fashion, which is cool and they've been doing a good job. But there's going to be a point where you want to tell a story that's not connected to a grandiose plot, and now you feel like you are obligated to. And I feel like that's what the thing with Chloe Zhao had to kind of deal with especially what Jose was talking about, in a sense of everybody kept talking about how it was super different and they don't follow the Marvel formula in a bad way, but they do, and that's the part that actually hurt the film, is that they had to follow the Marvel formula. When if I feel like if she got actually full reign to do what she really wanted, I think it would have been a lot different. But of course, they had to put in those little MCU parts to make it like, hold on, we have to bring you guys back that it's an MCU film. And there was a lot of nuance that could have been added there, but wasn't. And I feel like in the future, we might have this issue where they can't tell singular stories without it connecting to something bigger.
Because they're like, oh, how does this play into the canon? You're like, oh, now the Eternals are somewhere, and they even bring up the question like, why didn't you do anything with Thanos? You know, like we don't really run into that problem with the DCEU, which you brought up, was a really good point.
Yeah, and I think that like certain characters that I want to see, I want them to have their own singular story, and they don't have to be a bigger plot. And who knows? You can add them on. That's not saying you can't add them on to future projects that do add to a bigger plot. But when they are in their own singular story, they shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
And especially for a specific character that was teased at the end of it, I think that his character should definitely have his own singular story that's not connected to something huge.
Well, so here's the thing, and you brought up a really good point. Is so Chloe Zhao obviously is known for more artistic, more I guess like cinematography, like driven movies prior to this. So do you think that the critical reception to this movie is going to discourage Marvel and Disney in the future from bringing in like these kind of like, you know, small independent like directors that like have these more artistic movies and stick kind of to the formula?
I highly doubt it, because I mean they brought in Chloe Zhao, which was off of literally winning 2 Oscars for being an amazing director. So if Nomadland's director can land an MCU film, I think a lot of other directors can do so, right? So it's been proven, right, so far, at least with, for example, Christopher Nolan, that top tier directors can make good superhero movies, and when they land hard. So it doesn't always have to be a matter of bringing star power to the film in order to bring what's it called, like that pizzazz, that need for you to see the movie doesn't always have to come from a big name, right? If you seem enthralled by like the trailer or by the concept of a movie, I think it's worth it in and of itself. The example that pops into my mind, it's really weird, but as soon as you said that, I was like, the first time when I went to see the Blair Witch Project, I did not expect to see that, right?
No,
it completely changed the horror making forever. And it
found cam footage became, you know, the staple for like 6 years. Yeah, shaky
cam footage became a trend in the entirety of horror cinematic history because of the Blair Witch Project.
And a lot of them are really, really fucking bad.
But the Blair Witch Project itself was amazing, right? I think the same thing applies to when what's it called, Paranormal Activity. When Paranormal Activity came, it completely changed the game. And the directors were like, I don't think they were like that well known, because I think the guy that the 2 guys that directed the Blair Witch Project, Daniel Myrick, or I think was his name, but he was Daniel and I know Eduardo was the name of one of them, and Daniel something was the name of the second one. But I mean, they literally directed a low budget film that changed the game completely, right?
Yeah, Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez.
Okay,
you actually nailed it. Yeah.
So who is to say that can't happen in a big budget action film? So
I absolutely agree with that, because I mean, look at Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, before he did Black Panther, his only 2 films were Fruitvale Station and Creed. And even then, you could say Creed is kind of big, but it wasn't as big, because he even said himself, like, yo, Black Panther gave me a budget that I never thought I'd ever see. Yeah. And the reins to do stuff I never thought I could. And lo and behold,
Michael B. Jordan is one of the main characters in all 3 of those movies.
Yes.
Wow. I guess you stick with the actors you like.
I think.
Yep, and also Fruitvale Station too.
Yeah, he's the main character in Fruitvale Station, which was a movie I accidentally watched on an airplane and then spent the rest of the trip just like emotionally fucked. Incredibly important movie. Like, if you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, please watch it. It's about a true story. Devastatingly sad.
I mean, regardless of the genre, I think this is a proving ground for varied and diverse directorial and acting talent to prove themselves, right? This is the perfect moment to do so. And I mean, to be honest, like we've seen this on the big stage as well. I mean, the Wachowski siblings, their third project was The Matrix. And that should change the game forever. Like, they literally invented a new method of creating slow-mo.
True.
I was like, bro.
Oh my God. When did slow-mo die? That's my, like, slow-mo, like, it died.
Never died.
No, it kind of did. Like,
okay,
you don't see it nearly as much as you, like, remember, like, so, like, it was, like, like,
early
Matrix,
2000s, it was it.
Everywhere. What is the, we talked about it yesterday in the pod, the werewolves and the vampires. Underworld, so slow motion-y, just like all of it was just like dodging bullets and fangs.
Yeah.
God, it was awful. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think actually, I mean, I think Chloe Zhao actually like injected a little bit of flavor into the MCU. I think that this is a new and interesting approach to a Marvel movie, and I really appreciated that about her directorial choice. I resonate with you. If she had just had the free reins to not have to make, you know, the cookie cutter movie that she was getting pushed into making, then probably would have been a little bit better. So once again, guys, what was it, Mizu?
I was gonna say, just real quick, since we didn't also say that in the in the pod, the last one with Red Panda, Panda Red, is Makari, the speedster of the Eternals. I'm gonna tell you this right now, the best speedster
in live action
to film, brought into live action, period, both in television and in film. I've never seen how they did the speedster like that. Granted, and mind you, before all you power scalers lose your shit, I said that I'm talking about in sense of live action betrayal. I'm not saying she's the fastest ever. I'm just saying that
she was fucking hauling though.
Exactly. And I'm just saying that visually and how practical, how she used her powers was amazing. And granted, I could be proven wrong with the upcoming Flash movie, but for right now, she's the best speedster.
The Flash in the Snyderverse cut is the only exception I would say to that rule, but you're absolutely right. She was incredible. The way she used her power was awesome. Just like also like her fight against Icarus is really cool. Like punching him to a rock so much that the molten became the molten rock. It was
but even then, I mean, as in like the reason I liked it so much because they didn't go the slow-mo route with their speech.
Oh, you're right.
Like there's no slow-mo scene.
You never see
Makari
it from her perspective where she's like like pushing bullets away or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody else has a slow-mo scene to show you, oh, this is how fast they're going. Well, you didn't need to do that. We clearly saw how fast she was.
It's a good way to introduce, like, because like once you slow it down, it's like cool, you see them moving in slow motion and all that, but it gives a good like credence to the speed when it's always like they're just amplified. She was really, really dope, and her representation as a deaf woman was really, really cool. The fact that all of them spoke sign language was awesome. So like I said, guys, if you want to hear a more in-depth breakdown of the Eternals, there's a whole hour and 45-minute episode podcast about it. Actually, well, we talked about it for about an hour with the Panda Red, and then we really just shot the shit talking about what superpowers we would want for about 45 minutes, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And you know, the Patreon allows us to keep doing what we're doing, and we appreciate all the donors over there. So yeah, if you're looking for extra content about, you know, listening to our voices, we would love your support over there.
And if you want to see it, I would have to make an announcement because I officially realized something. So first of all, if you want to see the podcast, you can definitely check out the Weeb Weekly on YouTube because the podcast is fully available for your viewing pleasure. Another thing that I have to announce for you guys is that we are officially less than 1,200 watch hours away from monetizing, becoming a YouTube partner for Weeb Weekly. So if you want to help support the squad in a way that would literally change our lives, go watch the pods on our YouTube, the Weeb Weekly, and then vote for the winner of the Stack 'em Up in my Instagram, which will be going up later tonight.
Jose's GPU will thank you because it's doing all the rendering on these videos. So since we were talking about a movie that I also this is a little behind the scenes. I haven't cleared this with my co-hosts. Since we are talking about movies that we enjoyed that it seems to be that a lot of people aren't enjoying, I figured for a Stack 'em Up this week, we could talk about movies that we like that other people seem to not like. Ooh. So our favorite movie that other people hate.
Damn.
Ooh.
Does this clear the waivers, or am I getting the green light on this?
Yeah, I am giving the green light. I'm just thinking
Okay.
about what the like. Ooh.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
guilty pleasure movies. Guilty pleasure movies. What you're
Pleasure
saying.
movies, yeah, like ones that like it kicks on and like everyone's like, oh no, this movie, and you're like, I kind of like this.
Okay,
movie.
Bear.
Yeah, and plus it also depends on what you mean by like just like as in like both in just audience and critics. Like, because there's some I could think
like
of that
a
I like that
critically
critics absolutely hate.
Yeah, a critically panned movie that like everyone's like, that's a bad movie, and you're like, I liked it. That's what I'm talking about. Not like your best friends. Like, I didn't like Spider-Man 1 that much, and you're like, what? That's a great movie. Or like, I didn't like the Christopher Nolan Batmans. We're talking like critically panned bad movies that you really enjoy. And since in last week's Stack 'em Up, which was the best Halloween movie of all time, Jose won with Ghostbusters, which has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry. When in Ghostbusters do they even mention Halloween?
They don't mention Halloween, but it's all about ghosts.
But it is about ghosts. That
what
is
the hell,
caveat
man?
there.
I am just saying my movie is literally called Halloween.
Well, it's at the bottom of the list for a reason.
It was second. It was second.
True.
I beat
Very
out
fair.
Alien.
Big
But
facts,
yes,
big facts.
we are now preluding to the fact that the score is 8-6-5, and Jose is quickly spreading the gap between the rest of us for whatever 10 wins you.
I'll actually be putting up a poll tonight as well to see who the winner will get once we reach the first season of Stack 'em Up officially ends. Also, I just realized, holy shit, guys, we're about to hit like 35, 36 episodes, which
Something
is
like
wild.
that. Yeah. We're well over half a year here. We've been doing it for a hot minute.
This is awesome. I feel like we're building a little castle.
Exactly. If we keep this up, we can really be possibly monetized before doing this a whole year. That's crazy.
That's ideal.
Crazy shit.
That's ideal.
Okay.
But yes. So with no further ado, because this is how the way it works, unfortunately, Jose gets to go first with a movie that he likes that critics did not. Okay.
I know which one it is.
Yeah.
Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's
Body.
God,
Jennifer's Body.
Is that Megan Fox?
That is Megan
that's one of my favorite.
mother effing Fox, bro.
Okay, wait. Can you quickly
Jennifer's
give me a rundown
Body.
on is this the one where
It's a
she
horror
seduces
comedy
men and kills people?
Yes, it's a horror comedy where the popular girl in high school is sacrificed by a satanic cult of bad boys.
Okay.
And she literally is possessed by a demon. And she literally, she tries to liberate Amanda Seyfried's character from her like pruny ways, and instead basically just awakens her true nature. Meaning, I think the character's name was Anita. Anita, I think. Needy. Needy's what she calls
Seyfried.
her.
That's crazy.
Needy's what Megan Jennifer uses to call.
Simmons and Chris Pratt are in this movie.
Bro, they're all in this. So the cast is good. I really like this movie. I feel like this
movie is so early to like 2010s.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But it goes against the typical tropes in those movies, because for example in Carrie, because I'm thinking movies where the killer, right, who is a female,
Black Widow movies.
Yeah, but like the killer who is a female just like is either like traumatized into doing something or forced into doing something, and then like just like goes crazy. So I think of Carrie. I think of, there was one in a lake where like the girl was plot twist. It was a girl playing a boy. A boy playing a girl. I remember that there's last
like the
second.
Orphan. I know there's the Orphan.
But that's a newer one. I would say the Jennifer's Body, I think, was one of the more like zeitgeist friendly movies that literally put the main character being Jennifer, like the female, and she's absolutely menacing. She's a menace to society. Like she's unhinged, and I loved it. But critics hated it.
She's trying to make Needy more sexual.
She's trying to let Needy like let go of her like past ways of being like a tom girl, being shy and stuff like that. She's like awakens her partially sexually and stuff like that. Like the demon.
Hot.
Oh, it is hot.
Let's just be honest. I would say, let's just be honest. That she was pretty much like a succubus that really like killed people.
Yeah.
She didn't. Not only did she entice you, she also murdered you as well.
So Megan Fox was playing a high schooler in this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a high school movie.
That was 12 years ago. Megan Fox is
30 something.
No,
she's not 40.
Megan Fox. Oh, there's 35. So this was 12 years ago. So she was
23.
I can live with that.
Playing high school.
Yeah. Okay.
And I loved it. I mean, this was after. I think this was after. Yeah, this was after she had her whole shit with Transformers. So she just literally went into and I've from what I saw in her most recent interview with Machine Gun Kelly, this is the movie that she's most proud of.
What?
Jennifer's Buddy. Because it is good. I mean,
yeah, I definitely agree. It is
now
good.
That I'm sitting here and thinking about it, Jennifer, she doesn't have a lot of great movies, if we're being entirely real.
Well, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is amazing.
The one by Michael Bay. the Michael Bay. Vehicle?
I'm just kidding.
He's not lying. He's trying to save himself.
She's in a movie about getting hunted by a jaguar, and they're a bunch of like military people. She's a great actress who just gets put in bad movies because she's
super smart, by the way.
Well, I was gonna say attractive, but smart is also a good word. That's
Megan Fox is like high IQ.
Yeah. I wish we could get her in better movies, but yeah, no. Okay, so Jennifer's
she's in a TV show. I'm trying to remember. I forgot the name of the TV show, but she's in a TV show and she's pretty good in that.
New Girl. She's a New Girl.
She also in New Girl as well.
Yeah. Actually, she was fucking great in New Girl. Okay, cool. So that's Jose's pick. I got second with Halloween, which means I get to go second, and my choice is. And we've talked about it a lot on this show, about my love for this movie. Technically, I could have gone two ways with this, but I think one of them is widely beloved, and one of them is, but like also widely hated, and then one of them is just widely hated. So I'm gonna go with the one that's just widely hated because I don't want to muddle up the rules. Spider-Man 3 is my runaway choice here. Spider-Man 3 with the Tobey Maguire is a fantastic movie, and people get so caught up in the specifics of the movie. See, this is the response. See, Mizu went, yeah, and I went, that sounds hot. Okay, this is the response that you should get when you say the movie that you like that everyone hates. Spider-Man 3 is a fantastic movie filled with almost the entirety of the Sinister Six, an incredible depiction, the best depiction of the Sandman we'll probably ever get. One really
He's coming back for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll give him that. Yeah.
Sure. Did Tobey Maguire do a little snappy session and like take on the powers of Venom into his Spider-Man suit? Yes, he absolutely did. But it also gave us the introduction of Venom into the entirety of the Marvel universe. We had never seen Venom prior to this, which was cool. A cool looking CGI Venom. We got just like cool fights the whole way through. The end scene with MJ falling through the webs, like Tobey Maguire getting beat by the sand like while laying on the webs. Really cool scenes, like cool animation, cool fights. And yes, it's a bit chunky, and yes, it's a bit awkward at times, but rewatching that now makes it so much fun to watch. Like, sure, it may not be a great movie. None of these movies are great movies, but if you're talking about movies that are fun to go back and watch, Spider-Man 3 is top of the list because you are going to get comedy, you are going to get action, and you are going to get nostalgia. And that's what matters. I enjoyed it when I watched it when I was, 10 years old. I still enjoy it to this day, watching it at 25.
No.
Well, Harry
Osborn.
Harry. I'll give you this. Harry at the end of it. Okay, cool. But Harry and the rest of it, Harry was also weird. No one talks about that too.
Tell me what's wrong with Harry Osborn. Just like
Here's the thing. It's nothing wrong with Harry from the rest of the films. It's just like how Harry was. First of all, they pulled the whole amnesia thing again, a trope very common that he lost part of his memory, and he lost a lot of it, by the way.
Yeah.
To the point where he thought that him and Peter were still friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course he was acting just very weird. And mind you, he has no like symbiote, none of that shit. What's going on with Toby, with Peter? Yeah. But like his mannerisms, especially when he finally got his memory back, he acted even weirder. Like That man was freaking
He was
off
mad
the
that
walls.
his father got murdered. What would you do if your father got murdered by your best
But here's
friend?
the thing, I'm glad you brought that up. Why the hell did the butler wait till now to say something about that?
He was happy. Harry was happy. A good butler.
CYA purposes.
The butler fucked up. The butler
totally fucked up.
He was doing his job. He was making sure.
So you're telling me you won't be mad at Alfred doing a similar thing?
If Alfred saw that Bruce, the man he has been trying to get stop crusading as the Caped Crusader for years, was just happy with Catwoman or someone, and could, like, he was like, I have knowledge that could bring him back to like fighting like the Joker in the middle of the night, or I could let him live his life happily with the woman he loves, he would do that in a heartbeat.
But here's the thing. So here's the thing. What I'm hearing from you, you're perfectly okay that this butler was, because Harry was happy that he doesn't have a relationship with his best friend, that he literally cut off ties because he assumed that he killed his father, knowing that the butler knew the entire time that he didn't. And as soon as he said that, Harry's
complete demeanor, bro,
for Spider-Man just disappeared. So that means their whole relationship could have been resolved if he just told the truth from the beginning.
That's fair.
Total ass.
That is fair. Okay, there's plot holes. That's fine. Sure. There's a butler with a moral conundrum that we don't quite understand, but that doesn't take away the fact that we got one of the coolest ending fight scenes between Spider-Man and the majority of his Sinister Six, and we haven't gotten that since. Think about the scope of Spider-Man 3 and like what it meant for the Spider-Verse. We haven't gotten scope that large in any Spider-Man movie since.
Well, we in a movie. I would say, yeah, live action maybe, but I mean Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, we got something different. But you know how much? Listen, big anime guy here. You know how much more you can do with animation than you can do with live action?
Fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Especially considering they were so dedicated to using practical effects that Tobey Maguire had to catch all the food on a lunch tray in 156 tries. Okay, true. That is a hard task to pull off. Spider-Man 3 did a fantastic job. Sure, it didn't have the Spider-Man 2 moment of him stopping a train or just the sheer cut nostalgia-filledness of Spider-Man 1 where he's in the cage and he's fighting and Uncle Ben's death and all that. But Spider-Man 3 delivered on action, comedy, and good portrayals by some actors who are getting a chance again.
I just won't forget him for ruining Venom for me. I won't. Topher Grace is not.
How did they ruin Venom? Tell me.
I would say the portrayal of Eddie Brock. I love Topher Grace in That 70s Show. He is just not Eddie Brock. He's the jealous frat boy that's trying to just take away the main character's girl, and once he gets the power to stop it, he's literally just self-absorbed and trying to destroy Peter. But that's the thing is that's not Eddie. Yeah. That's not Eddie.
Like guy, usually.
Eddie's usually a good guy, and yes, the initial hatred is not even Eddie himself. The initial hatred is Venom.
Because Venom wants to
was rejected. Yeah, Venom was rejected by Peter. So like this is it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. I'm just personally attacked at the design, the little like vampire fangs and like the prosthetics. I'm like, bro, you can make Venom menacing without doing this much. Why you do this?
The opening of the face to have Venom. I thought the actual CGI representation of Venom was very interesting. I agree with you that was not Eddie Brock, but I like the actual look of Venom.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
Some
opinions are fucking wrong, Nick.
This is the correct response. If you're talking a movie that you enjoy that everybody else hates, it should be when I bring it up, everyone else is like, you're an idiot. And that's why this is a great answer.
That's why it's in the list.
The only part I liked about that entire movie, I will say, is Sandman. Everything in Sandman showed up. I was like, Sandman was fantastic. But everybody else, Toby, especially Mary Jane. Mary Jane is a turncoat for that. And I'm not saying that because people often say that with other characters, but Mary Jane literally knew what she signed up for.
Yeah. From
the second movie and still complained and was just like, oh, it's all about you, Spider-Man. I'm like,
bro, bitch. There's 5 boroughs. There's 5 boroughs.
And then I'm not gonna lie. In her defense, though, it wasn't cool for Peter to kiss on Gwen up there on that parade thing.
Nah,
I mean, getting
not
Spider-Man, but that was, I mean, I get why she was mad at that point, but everything else, I'm like, hey, it's not my
He fumbled
fault
the
you're a failed
bag.
actress.
He fumbled the bag. We all know it.
Gwen was bad as well. We know that for sure.
Oh yeah. Plus, like it's not his fault that you're a failed actress. No one wants to hire you on Broadway. Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
How's that Spider-Man's fault?
Please do not project that onto me. Okay, yes. So good. That's a response I wanted. Mizu, what is your pick?
So I had to think. I mean, well, first of all, Jose straight up stole my original pick. So that was a good one. But I have two others that are pretty good, but I'm torn on which one to pick. But I feel like this one is a little bit more liked, but this one also has a strong fan base. So I don't know which one to go with.
Okay. Oh, my other choice was just I was going to choose what people say is the worst Fast and Furious. Probably Fast 9. I was just going to say Fast 9 because
the
like
Phantom
it was
Menace?
Maybe Phantom Menace?
No.
Oh, no. I mean, Fast and Furious.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Duel of the Fates, baby.
Thinking, so the one I'm going to go with that I'll say a lot of people like definitely now, but did not like when it came out, especially critics, will have to be, and we mentioned it earlier, and that is Underworld. First of all, Underworld is, as you mentioned earlier, Underworld is basically fantasy Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
You got the slow-mo, you got the gun, and plus you got vampires versus werewolves. And mind you, there have been at least four previous films that did the whole vampires versus werewolves, and all of them sucked. This is the only time when you see vampires.
Twilight.
Before, but mind you, I think Underworld came up before Twilight.
Yeah. You're right. You did. Yes.
So this is the first time when we see vampires and werewolves, especially good ones, go at it, and it freaking looks amazing. And also practical effects. All the wolves, practical. The practical they use both puppetry and people to make the werewolves look the way they did.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
Haunting.
Kate Beckinsale, bro.
Could not
in
miss.
Latex.
He could not miss back then.
And here's another thing. And since you mentioned Twilight in a way, Michael Sheen is in that one, but Michael Sheen's a werewolf in this one, and Michael Sheen was freaking amazing as a werewolf.
He's a king.
He's a werewolf leader.
Mm-hmm.
But
are you eating fucking chips in the middle of an audio forum?
Sorry, I haven't eaten all day, guys. I'm really sorry. I'll stop. I'll take one more chip and I'm done.
I was just looking. I'm looking to Google Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. That's your crunch.
But yeah, I'll say my choice is Underworld. Underworld really put itself out there. Was it the best? Was it critically loved? No, but it was freaking amazing.
How many Underworlds did they make?
5.
They made they made too many.
5. I would say only 2 are good. I would say only 2 are good.
So, all right, yeah, I'm seeing. So, Underworld 2003.
Mm-hmm. The first one and the third one are the good ones, I would say.
Evolution, Rise of the Lycans, Awakening.
Nope.
That's a 9-year. That's a 9-year run between Underworlds and Underworld Awakening. That is wild. I remember Rise of the Lycans. Rise of the Lycans.
I liked it.
Was good. Let's check on the reports of all of these. So, Rise of the Lycans, 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. The lowest of any of our movies thus far, actually. And then the first Underworld, 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. My thing is
good.
You
That's what I'm saying. I liked it.
So here's the thing. And then yes, Underworld Blood Wars, which came out in 2016. The fact that so this first movie critically flopped, right? 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. How did they get greenlit for 4 more movies?
Because look at the audience score. Everybody fucking liked this movie. Everybody loved this movie. It's like the Transformers movies.
True. Very, very true.
Plus, I was just going to say that they kind of just maybe Michael Bayed it and just didn't care about how people felt about it and still made more.
As long as they're in the green, just clear it. Just hey, listen.
Bro, it also made more money. It was $22 million of budget, and then 95 was the box office. So each movie made money. So why not?
Why stop making them? As long as they're making money, why stop making them? So it did also. The series brought about one of the coolest scenes in movies that really sticks with me, and I always wanted to write a letter into Mythbusters to have them try this. There's a moment where Kate Beckinsale has 2 MP5s in her hands, and she spins in a circle, and she shoots a circle like out below her, and it like she falls through the floor. And I was like, "Ooh, could you do that? Could you do that in real life?" I was like so violently curious. So yeah, definitely a great choice. So that leaves us with, we have Jose choosing Jennifer's Body, the Megan Fox vehicle. We have me choosing Spider-Man 3, the correct choice because of the response that it elicited from my co-hosts. And then we have, is there a specific one you want, Mizu, or just want to say the entirety of Underworld?
The first Underworld.
The first one.
The first Underworld. Okay, with Mizu going with Underworld. So wow, I mean, we really went comedy, horror, action, and then like high fantasy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, my second choice was going to be Twilight, only because there's a strong ass fan base for that shit.
Yeah, that's the thing, is there's a lot of people who do. Also, I feel like Twilight's kind of getting the prequels treatment, where like. Here's
the thing. I recently just watched Twilight. I talked about it like a couple months ago, and I'm not gonna lie. Granted, I don't like the first one, but if you continue to watch it, it's not that bad. I was like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's a bit like Justin Bieber in the early 2010s. It's just, we all hated it because that's just what people did. It was just like some people loved it and some people hated it, and it was just like as a boy growing up, you either had to be like super pro Twilight or like diametrically opposed to it. But like going back and rewatching it now, like I'm just like, yeah, these are actually okay movies. They're not terrible. I mean, like their child is hilarious and the acting is very stale at some point.
CGI baby was freaking me out when I saw it.
It's so there was no need.
The uncanny valley. Exactly. It was at the bottom of the uncanny valley,
it was
bro.
So
exactly. My wife got mad at me because she kept telling me to shut up, because every time I looked at the baby, I was just like, why? This is unnecessary. Why did they do this?
Just get a baby. No baby looks immediately like its parents ever. That's just it's just not a thing. No baby just comes out and it's like, oh cool, that's your baby.
But no, you know, it was mostly unnecessary is that not just a baby, but like they actually had a kid, and they also CGI'd that kid's face.
Oh, you're right. Yup. Yeah, it was for a shorter scene. Yup. Yeah, it was so weird. I think they just had some money left in the CGI budget, and like, what if it looked just like them? And it's so weird. Did you have a second choice, Jose?
No, I was gonna say. Well, I think I do.
I mean, I guess you don't need one when you're first.
I was gonna say that the weirdly the movie out of the Underworld saga that made the most money was the fourth one. It made like 160 million at the box office, and it was I barely remember it.
What is it called?
I don't remember it at all.
Awakening, Underworld. Oh, it was in 3D. It was in 3D.
It was 2012. Everything was in 3D. Remember?
It was Avatar, straight off Avatar, literally.
Oh my 3D. God. Imagine going to watch Avatar and then going to watch the fourth Underworld and just like seeing the differences in CGI quality.
I'm not gonna lie. If y'all chose Avatar, I would have stopped talking to y'all. I'm not gonna be afraid.
Oh, no.
If you like the Avatar, yes, and I'm judging. Yes,
that would have been a good.
Live action,
you didn't see the show. You didn't see the show if you'd like it.
I thought you meant Avatar, like the like.
Oh no, the good one. That was 2009. That was 2009.
If the CGI was good, the story was a story, you know. But the Avatar: Last Airbender would have been such a good choice. Holy shit,
dude! My second choice was Shrek 2.
No, everyone loves Shrek 2. What do you? That's the best Shrek movie.
Shrek 2 doesn't have
the best Shrek movie.
I thought it was that was my guilty pleasure.
Shrek 2 is the best of the two.
Shrek 2 it has the musical number at the end. I need a hero.
Oh yeah, that's where I love it. Okay, so no, I messed up there.
Puss in Boots is introduced in that.
It also almost made $1 billion, so I need to shut my ass up.
Just like one of those, I love like, casually like.
Good movies. It's like, you know what? The Godfather kind of sucked.
I was not a big fan of like, I don't know, Kill Bill. Like, I don't, am I weird here?
A lot of people didn't like Kill Bill. And funny enough, people didn't like Pulp Fiction either.
Oh, God.
Is that true?
Freaking terrible.
Every cinema student's poster on the wall being Uma Thurman just smoking on her.
You don't understand how deep Kill Bill is. It's like, I do. It's a fucking Kung Fu movie. I understand. All right, I understand that. Like, A, like it's all about feet, and B, it's about like cutting bitches up. So you guys can vote for our winner of that Stack 'em Up. Once again, Jose chose Jennifer Body. I chose Spider-Man 3. Mizu chose the first Underworld movie. Jose, where can they find that?
at I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram. Once I'm done talking to you here with this amazing group of people, I will put podcast in YouTube and I will put poll in Instagram.
Thank you, comrades. But that brings us to a little bit of knowledge. Not a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of news for all my weebs out there. For those of you who have been waiting for the Hunter x Hunter to come back, there is a little bit of a silver lining, but it also is not a silver lining at all, and we need to talk about it, just culture in general. There is a interview that just came out last week with the mangaka of Hunter x Hunter, and he said that he's not the kind of mangaka who's going to put his life on the line for a manga. He lives in constant pain. But B, he said that if he passes away, he has officially given his wife clearance, credence, and all of that to continue the manga without him. And I think this brings up a very interesting question of morality amongst anime and manga fans, because we, especially in the wake of just losing the Berserk mangaka at the age of 54 from a heart attack, 54, that the critical reception to this news has been mostly very positive. Most people being like, hey, please, like it's been on hiatus since 2018. It's been over 1,000 days. November 2018 was the last time we got a chapter. So like, hey, take your time. Like if you can't do it, don't do it. Like the anime came to a somewhat end. We're okay. My fear is though that there's people out there that are now being like, well, shit, if he dies, we get more Hunter x Hunter. And that is my fear. I haven't seen necessarily anyone talking like this, but I feel like in my base core that there's a lot of people out there like hoping for his demise. And I think it speaks like pretty largely on like how we perceive our mangakas as a whole. And it's just that like we feel as though like we have to remember that these people are human, and that like we should never wish for the death of a person for the continuation of a story. I mean, Mizo, have you heard any of this news?
So I haven't heard anything related to that, but I do have a story what happened to me on TikTok. So I did a video talking about just random facts and like messed up facts that happen in anime, both in the actual stories themselves or behind the scenes. And one of those was that one of the previous editors of Attack on Titan murdered someone. And and he murdered his wife. There was a whole trial and everything, and he was removed. And I did a whole video on that on TikTok. And the comments was very alarming. There are people who are just like, oh, who cares as long as the Attack on Titan's going on. And like there's some people vouching to keep him on just so the series can continue. Now, mind you, he stopped writing for it or editing it back in maybe like I want to say like 2016, 2015. Yeah. And but the fact that there were people vouching for, a whole murderer so just so they can get their Attack on Titan fix is very concerning. So when you said that, I can definitely see that happening when there are people who are looking for the demise of people or even the forced labor of people. Because, the whole, unfortunately, a lot of people who do and get involved in anime and stuff like that, they don't get paid very well, but their people are perfectly fine with it because they can get their anime, which is very sad.
Yeah. And we see the repercussions kind of elsewhere, especially in My Hero Academia, the mangaka who's very secretive, but also incredibly hardworking and is still heavily involved in the drawing of every single chapter, week in, week out. And he got sick, and unfortunately that led to him having to skip a week and just like being apologetic about it. But I feel like the culture around mangaka dumb is changing, and I feel like Yoshiro Togashi, the mangaka of Hunter x Hunter, actually has something to do with that, because like an unwillingness to like put your life on the line to continue a story is completely natural and completely acceptable. And as someone who has a full Hunter x Hunter half sleeve, like I am fully like on board with him not continuing a story he is not comfortable continuing. And if we're being entirely morbid about, I mean, he's 54 years old. He's not going to kick the bucket anytime soon. Let's hope. Let's right hand to God. But if we're being entirely real, his wife is also an incredibly talented person. Naoko Takeuchi, the mangaka of Sailor Moon, incredibly talented woman. So if that happens, the Hunter x Hunter is in incredibly safe hands. But let's hope for him to be happy, healthy, and maybe one day if he's comfortable enough to come back to Hunter x Hunter. If not, completely fine. Outside of that, we did have some news that's not related to anime, more related to our boy Jose. We got something that we've been asking for a long time, and it was not a second trailer for Spider-Man. It was actually a poster, and people are upset about it.
Yes, people are upset, saying that it was basically fan made. Somebody threw it up in Photoshop at 11:59 before the due date of 12 midnight.
Yep. So shit, assignment. Yep, just gotta get that out immediately.
Honestly, I get the feel. I get why. Primordially because we had seen leaks of posters showing up around the world. Not on the movie theater side, because on the movie theater side they were just taking the best pictures off of Instagram and whatever they could.
Yeah.
Because Sony they just didn't put out a poster. So like they were just like promoting it with whatever they had.
Website, there's no poster.
Exactly. And then we saw posters showing up in Australia and Mexico with like the mirror dimension that we saw in the trailer with Spider-Man. Basically a similar structure, but Spider-Man had the Iron Spider arms coming out. So people were like, did you just like take the best shot from the trailer and literally just like pull it up in
Copy and
Photoshop?
paste the arms onto there? Yeah.
Not ideal. So people were just mad at that. They were also not particularly happy at the fact that this was basically like thrown before the trailer, the second trailer, and I'm like, okay, I guess so. But I mean, they can technically do whatever they want. We still have about a month and a half before the movie. It's still odd to only have a teaser, basically a month and a half before the movie. But honestly, I was okay with it. I wasn't a super huge fan of that poster because I know that like Spider-Man posters tend to be a little bit more either iconic or they resemble what the feel of the movie is going to be about. We got everything that we knew was going to happen. I mean, we got swirly sand for Sandman. We got a lightning strike for Electro. We see the Green Goblin literally
straight up. The Green Goblin's just right there.
They just took like a screenshot of Sam Raimi's movie and we're like, okay, fuck it. So
throw them in there like a seagull when you paint like the two little squiggles. Yeah,
exactly. So that's how I feel. I feel it's like a okay, we got it. I felt like I was gonna be like, oh shit, the poster. They put something there to like hype us up. But the big thing is, we don't know. We still don't know if this is gonna be like the final poster. Because I mean, they posted it on all their official social media channels. Even Marvel posted it. Everybody posted it. So I guess they're gonna keep it. But if they don't, are they just messing with us? Because you guys have to remember, Disney Plus Day is in November 12th, which is this week. I am very excited for that. We are expected to see the Kenobi trailer, for example. We are expected to see a lot of updates when it comes to Marvel movies. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw something at the end.
So, I mean, do you think that this is going to be representative of what we're getting in the movie? I mean, come on, if they're just slapping together posters, do you think the reason that we don't have a second trailer is because they don't have enough to give it to us? Do you think that Sam Raimi and all of the, not Sam Raimi, he's obviously, do you think that they're like cobbling stuff together right now? I mean, because like
they just don't want to give us too much. They just don't want to give us too much.
Are we giving them too much?
That's
too much credence?
Think so. I think so. We might be just like thinking that they're just playing 4D chess and we're just like the pawns in their game. But I honestly believe that they're just trying to keep the hype as high as possible without giving us just the minimum amount of context in order for us to go watch the movie like the rabid dogs, which unfortunately I will do anyways. So yeah, that's what I think. It's a cat and mouse game for that trailer, I think. What about you, Mizu?
I definitely agree in the sense of like I didn't hate the poster, but it did feel very Photoshoppy. Like they just put a bunch of parts together. I think the most egregious have to be Green Goblin. It's like everybody else is like subliminal. Like you got the Sandman, lightning, Electro, claws, Doc Ock. But no, Goblin. No,
right there in the back.
Pumpkin, no glider, just straight up him, just far away in the distance. You can see him, but you can't see him. Yeah. But he's there. Like, he's visibly there.
It's clear as day. Yeah. I mean,
and then go ahead. And I think another thing that was also weird is it was also Peter specifically, like, because he's doing a stance that, I mean, which is of course is an iconic Spider-Man stance, but like it feels like he was just photoshopped on top of debris, and it feels like it came from somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
So he kind of felt off in the picture, in the poster to me.
Did you guys see Juju's TikTok? It's literally just the last shot from the first trailer. Yep. It is like same coloration, same cell shading, everything. The last shot from the first trailer. And they just like literally went to GIMP, clicked around him, like control X, control C him in there, and then pop. Hey guys, we did it. High five, went home. So they didn't have to make a second trailer. Did you guys hear about the other Tom Holland news?
Ooh, which one?
That he said the way he approached his role in Uncharted was a mistake and that he'll never do it again.
No!
Did you not hear this? You didn't.
No,
you didn't hear
why
this
are
news?
you doing this to
So
me?
guess who was right?
This movie's gonna suck. This movie's gonna suck.
You save those quotes for after the movie comes out. You don't say that before the movie comes
fuckers.
out.
No.
Yeah. Said the way he approached the role was a mistake and that he would probably never do it again.
Did he just not play the games? Did he just not play the games?
I don't. Yeah. So he said like he was like,
have to play the games. You could just watch the gameplay on YouTube.
Yeah,
at least
exactly.
you get the story, at least cutscenes.
He was saying that he was spending too much time in the role, wondering not whether or not he looked cool enough, and that was a mistake, and he would never do it again. Yeah.
Why do they fuck up my video game movies so much?
I am so excited. When does it come out? When does that trailer come out?
I hate you, Nick. You jinxed it. You jinxed it, bro.
I didn't do anything.
You
Uncharted
jinxed it.
movie release date. I'm popping bottles on this day. Let's see.
No.
February 18th, 2022. Woo, let's be there. Let's be there. Okay. Oh, wow.
Look,
and then
okay, I'm gonna still. I'll probably still see it. Maybe. Depends,
we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. We're gonna talk about it.
I mean, I have to see it.
Because
if it's an Uncharted movie, I
can't
have
say
to see
that
it.
and then be like, oh, it sucks, and then never see it. I'm not gonna be that type of person.
The thing is, like, how can it's Tom Holland? You can't say that. You cannot say, as the main character of the movie, that the way you approach the role was a mistake and that you will never do it again.
It's like him doing Spider-Man being like, oh, I expected more from the movie. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
They're already trying to lower our expectations for it. It isn't coming out for 3 more months.
Sad.
Oh,
sad.
Love it. What if Mark Wahlberg is the highlight of that movie? That's it. Like Mark Wahlberg's like, oh man, that movie.
Anyway.
I don't know how to feel.
Oh yeah, excited. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Excited.
Don't Fast and Furious all of my movies, please.
Please. Well, you saw in the trailer he was running up boxes like that were falling out of an airplane. That is already Fast and Furious.
We've seen Tom Cruise do some wild shit. It's mostly practical.
I mean, I've seen him break his ankle.
But here's the thing: you also gotta remember
the side of a plane.
Uncharted is what's it called? You also gotta remember that Uncharted is Indiana Jones. It's Indiana Jones, so of course there's gonna be stuff that Indiana Jones literally found the Ark of the Covenant. Like what the hell? But anyway, and that's pretty much Uncharted. He finds Atlantis. He does all this crazy shit. So I'm not surprised by that. But I am alarmed a little bit by that statement, and I just feel like maybe the acting might not be on par.
all right. Here. I'll add good news. Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds, and The Rock are making a movie together, and it's coming out to Netflix.
Yeah, Red Notice. I think it already came out. No?
Did it already come out? No,
I think
it comes out the 11th,
Friday.
I believe.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it comes out the 11th or the 12th or something.
Speaking of those three, there was a quote saying that Dwayne Johnson thinks he's confident that those 3 people can make the Marvel DC crossover happen. And I'm like, hey, yo.
I guess. Yeah, Gal Gadot holds a large amount of like credence in DC. Ryan Reynolds hasn't really been in either outside of Green Lantern.
But Ryan Reynolds holds Deadpool.
Jesus Christ.
And Deadpool's the only way. Deadpool is the only way. And I mean, speaking of the Eternals, I mean, you should still watch our episode. But I don't think we covered this. The DC universe is officially canon within the Marvel universe because of the Eternals.
Yeah, because of the references. Remember?
They did references to Batman and Robin, references to Superman. It's like, I mean,
oh my God, you're right. They did. Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, the kid calls Icarus Superman.
Yeah. That's insane. Oh my God, you're right. So I mean, like maybe I don't think there's gonna be like Batman and them high-fiving, but like I don't. That being said, like what's Marvel's motivation to get DC in there currently? Like I can understand DC's motivation. I can't really understand. Like you can't. It's hard to come to the table with DC's numbers and be like, hey, we should do a crossover film. You know, it's like when someone with like 10,000 followers slides into your DMs and be like, let's collaborate, and you're like, I love you, but like, come on.
Damn, bro. You went all out.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
listen, I didn't have balls that large back then either.
Fair. But I would say it would be pretty interesting to see, because I mean the MCU already handles top tier star power. It would be really wild to see how they handle a crossover film, because that would be, the story would have to be ludicrous.
Oh, it would be like absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, it cannot be. Even when they do it, it can't be canon. It's just gonna be like a little thing. Like, hey guys, this is y'all kept talking about it for years, and here it is. So let's say you can just in case, like you can say that they did it. Yeah. Like, hey, we did it. Now we can just leave it there.
It would have to be Darkseid and Galactus being like, you wanna play together? Yeah, you wanna do stuff together, bro?
That would be fucking.
Because they fought before. But I'm like, if Galactus and Darkseid say, yo, you wanna run it up on these fools?
There's nothing you could. There's no unless you got Cosmic Armor Superman and
Batman
and
with
like
a gun,
Mobius chair Batman and and then like Old Man Thor and
Adam Warlock, the Beyonder,
and World Ender Hulk. Like there's no way you're running up the score. Like they would absolutely run up the score. Yeah, no, that would be fucking sick. Okay, we're significantly off track. What the fuck? We had something else. We had Hunter x Hunter news.
Round.
We had the speed round.
Platinum End. In Platinum End also.
And Platinum End. I just watched the 5th episode. My girlfriend is sick. I've been taking care of her. While I was like rubbing her head while she was asleep, I was watching Platinum End. I got caught up. That show is getting so much more like Mirai Nikki. It's actually kind of crazy, which I obviously appreciate. Once again, Mirai Nikki tattoo on my body. I really like this newest episode coming out of them, adding the sympathetic older character, kind of what Mirai Nikki did with the detective who later turns evil. I don't think this guy's going to turn evil. What are you liking about the show thus far, Jose?
I really,
more than Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course. I stopped watching Top. I will.
TR?
No, I won't. I won't drop it fully. But I'm like, if you had,
forgive him. He knows not what he does. Weebdom.
If you told me watch another episode of Platinum End or pick up Tokyo Revengers in episode 13, I'll be like, no.
Sorry, gotta go watch Platinum End.
I gotta go watch Platinum End.
Okay.
So I like Metropoliman. Because I like the concept. I like the concept. I like the concept of.
Are you on episode 5?
Yeah.
He just murdered a 12-year-old.
Yeah, no, I meant I like the villain. Like, I mean, I'm
okay. Good.
No. I'm not saying that I like him as a character.
Pro Metropolitan.
No, I'm not pro Metro. Cool. I'm not a Jaegerist like our boy Mizu here.
Hey, I have solidified.
He's a Jaegerist. He's a Jaegerist with conditions.
Yeah, there's limits to my Jaegerism.
Yes.
Okay, fair. I would say that Metropoliman is a compelling villain in the sense that he's literally playing chess with and everybody's playing checkers. Like he's literally just trying to use as much as the information that we can. We haven't seen his angel yet. Naz, whatever, the hot one, the really hot one.
Nezra something. Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that she put that man on a mission, and he. I feel like, how could I explain this? I feel like I'm connected. I've connected pretty early on to his desire to just take out the competition.
Oh yeah, you got it.
But then again, like when he's talking to the angel, he's like, well, But I think in one of the scenes when he's talking to the angel, he's like, well, what can I do? Like, is there absolution after I do this? Because he has to kill all the freaking people. And the angel just says, that's just part of the job. Because the angels necessarily don't care what happens to the other humans. Yeah, they just care about what happens to their god candidate. So Metropoliman seems like a compelling villain. I'm starting to really like Mirai. I think it's Mirai.
Yeah, Mirai is the guy's name.
Yeah. So
Saki is the girl.
Yeah, Mirai is really cool. NASA just literally
Fucking
surprised me.
NASA.
She surprised me when talking to Metropoliman. She was like, I don't give a fuck what happens to any of these people. But you know what? This is not the way to do it, hon. Yeah, this is not the way to do it, hun. I'm like, oh shit, the angels don't even care.
Yeah.
The angels don't even care. And I'm surprised. I'm very excited to see what the current god's story is. So I would say it's got me hooked with what's happening. It's got me hooked with what happened, the progression of the character so far. And it's got me really excited to see the future. So I would say it's hit all 3 boxes for me.
If Mirai Nikki is to serve as any example here, the God story is actually very interesting. And there's going to be a double cross, and there's going to be a lot going on. I don't know if it's going to follow Mirai Nikki's like exact like plot line. Obviously, it's its own thing made by a different mangaka. But no, I'm in the same camp. I'm really, really enjoying it. The animation is gorgeous. I love the animation. The CGI when they're showing like the people like the kind of like mech like setups they have is really clean. And you're right, Metropoliman is hateable, and like they're like borderline irredeemably bad, but also just like playing chess, like doing the right things. Like you just like sometimes you got to be cutthroat if you want to be God. And I think that's the reality of it, is people who would actually want to be God are gonna be bad people. I think the guy who they just got introduced to, who's got the family, is absolutely right. He's like, do you guys want to be God? And they're like, no. And he's like, good, that means you're good people, because no good person wants to be God. Mizu, are you caught up?
I'm only caught up to the 3rd episode. I'm at the episode where the main character was under the influence when he finds out that his love interest is also a candidate. Yep. And he got hit with the love arrow, and we saw what it was like with him having it. And of course, they talk about their plan and their alliance together. So that's the closest I got. I hadn't seen episode 4 or 5 yet.
Okay. Yeah. I won't spoil anything then.
It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. Also in anime news, Boruto is redoing the Chunin exams, and Hoki versus Inojin was fucking sick. I thought that the redo of the Chunin exams was going to be a slower paced arc after the Ishiki arc. I was wrong. The fight animation is sick. It's so clean. We're seeing the Anbu training from Sai getting absolute badass kids using genjutsu, make themselves slime monsters. Inojin, it was kind of a battle of Sai's children. Really, I'm not gonna say who wins in case you haven't seen it. Really cool fight, really well done. So stoked for next week. And the only thing I'd say is the Mitsuki Boruto sideline story is not interesting to me. I wish they could just come back and fight in the shooting exam. They can just do a tournament arc. Jose, you look like you just got handed either good or bad news.
I posted the poll for the movie that everybody loves to hate, and the initial results are fuck.
Spider-Man 3.
Underworld has 53% no.
Okay.
Sad. Jennifer's Body has 58% yes. And Spider-Man 3 has 85% yes.
Woo, woo, let's
fuck this pandering.
Let's go, boy. I knew it because it's a good movie. All right. I wasn't even pandering. I was in. My God, the comeback starts now.
Damn it.
Comeback City population, me baby.
We got 24 hours. We got 24 hours.
We got 24 hours. I'm gonna tell everybody in Discord to go vote for it. Okay. So that is our anime news. You want to get to our speed round?
Yes.
So we got 3 things this week that we're either buying or selling on. Jose is going to list them off, please.
Okay, so the first thing that we're buying and selling off on. I totally forgot. Where's my list? Okay. Lol. Do you remember the first one?
Oh fuck.
'Cause I have a lot.
Well, why don't we open with Red Notice?
Okay, Red Notice.
Yeah, so we'll open with Red Notice. Red Notice is a movie coming out this weekend.
Yes.
With The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's about an FBI pursuer. Yeah, so it's in art. So Ryan Reynolds is an art thief. The Rock is a cop trying to catch him, and Gal Gadot is also an art thief. This is more or less exactly the plot of Fast, I believe, 5 or 4, whenever The Rock gets introduced, when he's just trying to catch the thieves, and then he ends up like teaming up with the thieves to catch a bigger thief. And I think Ryan Reynolds and The Rock are going to team up together in order to catch Gal Gadot. It already has a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, which lets me know it's fantastic. I'm buying, because I love Michael Bay movies. I love that it's going to be on Netflix. I'm going to watch it while I cook dinner one night.
Michael Bay movie?
I believe so. Yeah.
No way.
Cinematography. I believe it's Michael Bay. Red Notice.
No, it's not Michael Bay. Oh, God.
Oh, it's not? Okay. But like this, like if ever there was a Michael Bay, no, it's Rayson Marshall Thurber. Jesus, that's a white name. Regardless, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think I'm gonna watch it while I cook dinner. Maybe while I'm working out or something, and I'm gonna forget it ever existed. But God, no, actually no, because I have rewatched 6 Underground, which is almost this exact same movie's vibes, like 4 times. So I love it. I love dumb action movies, and I think this is gonna be a really dumb fucking action movie.
I am going to have to agree on this one. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it because I like the charisma. And from the trailer, I saw the humor that everybody knows and loves from Mr. Ryan. So yeah. I'm buying. How about you, Mizu? Are you gonna pull us up?
I'm definitely going to buy, only because of the trio.
Okay.
The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot in a movie together. Funny enough, you got Black Adam, freaking Deadpool, and Wonder Woman, all in one film together, pretty much. And I think that'll be an interesting trio to see together. I'm being honest with you, only buying because of them. Plot wise, I don't know.
Okay. So that's a queen sweep right there. Here's the thing: if Ryan Reynolds gets me to see a movie, that being said, still haven't seen Free Guy. But
I liked it.
Yeah, I've heard it was good. I mean, probably from you, if I'm remembering correctly. But like The Rock doesn't necessarily motivate me to see a movie. Gal Gadot doesn't necessarily like motivate me to see a movie. But the 3 of them combined, I was like, I can't miss that. That's just it's too good looking. It's too good looking of a 3 people to not see that movie. Okay,
I totally feel that.
The other thing we had was Harder They Fall. Harder They Fall is a new movie by reggae singer James.
I got you.
James Selma, something like that. And it's a cowboy story about a boy whose father is murdered by Idris Elba, essentially. And he's trying to plot his revenge by getting his gang to kill Idris Elba's gang. And it's an entirely black cast. Everybody in the movie except for the preacher in the beginning is black. And it's really, I think it's actually just a very interesting like approach to a cowboy movie. Like, why the fuck not? Like, it's not like there wasn't black cowboys. There was tons of black cowboys. It's a very interesting like take in black storytelling. Just essentially writing a movie about cowboys, and like the fact that they're black really has nothing to do with the storyline. And it's a fresh approach on westerns. I've seen about a quarter of it, and then I had to go to my girlfriend's birthday, so I have not finished it. Probably going to finish it tonight and or tomorrow. But from what I've seen thus far, it's a heavy buy. I'm really enjoying it. I think Kang the Conqueror, playing that acting role, what's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors does a fantastic job. Zazie Baez is in it. Idris Elba is in it. The cast is absolutely stacked.
I'm excited to see it. I'm buying on it because I've seen a couple of videos on the history behind it. So, fun fact, those are actual cowboys. John Wayne and Clint Eastwood have never portrayed a cowboy. They've portrayed cowhands. That's the official term that white ranchers in the Wild West had. So these are the actual cowboys. So fun fact.
Yeah, the Spanish people were rancheros.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I'm definitely gonna buy it. And the only reason I haven't watched it is because like I like to watch especially films like this with my wife. And of course she has her things going on, and then we have other things going on. So I couldn't get to finish the rest of it, but I've been hooked on it. And definitely what Jose said, there's a lot of history. Actually, funny enough, almost every character, I believe, on the protagonist's side is based off a real person. They're all playing real people. Jonathan Majors plays Nat Love, Zazie Beetz. All their characters are based off real people. Even the guy, the sheriff, who comes in saying, "Y'all know who I do," like Bass Reeves. That's a real person. These are all real people. Granted, I will say canonically, timeline wise,
do they line up?
They don't line up at all. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Nat Love was born around the same time Bass Reeves' character, like Bass Reeves died. So like, so yeah, they're canonically, timeline wise, they would have never really met each other. But of course, they already made that known in the beginning of the film by saying this is a fictional story. Yeah. But overall, I freaking love it, and definitely love to see more westerns with people of color, especially Black and Latinos, because we actually made up the bulk of the West and cowboys and stuff like that. Granted, we got the classics, with Clint Eastwood and John Wayne, but those were kind of fictitious stories about cowboys and not real cowboys that really existed. So I'm pretty interested to see how they did that. It definitely gives me some undertones of like Quentin Tarantino, but not necessarily
as
Quentin
stylized.
Tarantino.
Yeah,
in stylized wise, yes. And
there's no like quick camera cuts and shit like that.
Exactly. And the cast, like you said, is stacked. Like everybody, this is like the third movie where Idris Alba is like the villain of the villain in.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think Heimdall. No, I mean, so Suicide Squad, he wasn't really a villain.
Well, it's a collection of villains.
But he played the hero in that one. I mean, as in, he played a straight up villain. The last one I saw was, Hobbs Shaw. He was the villain.
Yeah.
He was quote unquote Black
Superman. Beast of No Name. He was the villain.
Beast of No Name. Like that.
Yeah. He's a great villain. He's like a very he's a big dude. He's menacing. I mean, he's as good as good guy as he's a bad guy. He's just a very talented actor. He's also, fun fact, in Ghost Rider 2, which is one of the worst movies ever made. Yeah, he is in Ghost Rider 2. He's the only good spot in it. And then so after that, so that's 3 buys.
I had another one.
So yeah, Arcane.
Speaking of before we do that one, because that's a big one. I just had news a couple hours ago. Speaking of Black stories, Black Panther 2 is reportedly going to introduce T'Challa and Nakia's son.
Oh,
what the hell is happening? I don't know.
Is he going to be the new Black Panther?
That's what I am confusion of.
Or is it just going to be a baby?
I'm confused. I'm confused because I know they're not going to do Storm, at least with Chadwick Boseman's character, because of obvious reasons, unfortunately. Yeah. But is he the new Black Panther?
That would be a big
happen?
Time skip, though. That would be 20 or so years in the future.
I have no idea what we're doing here. I don't even know if I want to buy or sell.
It might just be a baby. I'd like to think it. I think it's if I'm Marvel here, I'm saying like I'm doing a kind of pseudo nod to the continuation of Chadwick's bloodline in Marvel through a son. Yeah. That could be a sweet moment. Just be like, oh, his name is actually like we're gonna name him like T'Challa or some kind of nod to Chadwick. If you have that just like a 20-year time skip, and now Chadwick's son, T'Challa's son, is the Black Panther, massively missed opportunity for a moment of just like making his sister the new Black Panther. I know she's not going to be. I think we've already gotten that confirmed that she's not. At least she's not going to open as Black Panther.
They also delayed the production of the movie because of the actress's injury. So that's wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's delayed by two months, I believe, the production.
Shit.
Yeah, they won't start filming again until 2022.
Damn. Okay, so I mean, like, so you don't think that's gonna be? I mean, sell. I mean, or see, this is a tight spot.
This is a tight one. Yeah. I'm like,
no, I'm gonna say sell because this, as a Black Panther fan, this makes no freaking sense. One, granted, comics are comics, but still, it's like one. In the main 616 universe, T'Challa has no children. There is an alternate universe where he does have a child
with Storm.
But with Storm, yes. I mean, it's actually a movie. I think it's called The Avengers Tomorrow. I believe it's on Disney Plus, maybe. But anyway, he has no children, and that's actually one of the main reasons why Storm and T'Challa like broke up and like I want to say divorced, but they separated because T'Challa at the time didn't want children, while Storm did.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has a kid with Nakia, which I get that in the MCU, that's his love interest, and like the whole time skip thing would make no sense to me. I can understand the baby part. Maybe like, yeah, they have an undisclosed child that he didn't get to see. And like, I'll say maybe like she's like pregnant, but like, even then, how they set up in the movie is that I don't necessarily think that child will be Black Panther, because they also disclosed that, made it pretty clear that being Black Panther and King of Wakanda or ruler of Wakanda is two different things. So I don't know. I don't think this is a good move at all. I think they should just stick with Shuri. Granted, yeah, like how Nick said, they're not going to make her Black Panther outright, but I do like the concept of like
working towards
her growing and developing into becoming Black Panther instead of just wedging in this child that just seems very weird.
I think that's the right set of words. Wedge, stack on. It feels tacked on in a way. I get that you're trying to say goodbye to Chadwick. Totally understand that if that is the approach you're doing. I for some reason it doesn't feel like it is. So I think I'm also gonna have to sell, unless it is like a, hey, listen, his legacy lives on through his child, and then the child is like never seen again.
Which is funny enough because in the comic books, that's what happened to T'Challa, because in the comics, T'Challa lost his father at like 6 years old.
Yeah.
So they could be maybe making a proto T'Challa type part 2. I don't know.
Yeah, just like, hey, listen, like this is how you get the strong ones. You just get rid of the fathers, and then boom, that kid's gonna be absolutely crazy later on. I mean, so you're also selling, Jose?
Yeah, I think it's an absolute sell on this one. Again, these are just like random reports and rumors, and we know the rumors can be confirmed or denied at the latest possible moment by Marvel. But I was just like kind of caught off guard, because I'm like, damn, there's so much you could, bro. I would honestly like straight up, if they don't do Shuri as Black Panther, I would rather them bring back Michael B. Jordan than give me just like a random plot introduction of like, oh, T'Challa's son that we'll see 20 years in the future. I'm like, bro, cool. bring back Killmonger, bro, and make him good instead of instead of What If, making him Black Air Force One Killmonger.
Killmonger, exactly. I mean, the name Killmonger itself is Black Air Force One energy, like but yes. So all right, once again, we're all in agreement again. Wow, wait, with no discourse today. We need to trump up this Discord. So next we have Arcane, the Netflix show that just came out about the League of Legends character, I believe. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, absolutely crushing it. Critical reception, one season of a show, if I'm not mistaken. As the resident not that big into League of Legends, I'm gonna sell, because I don't really give a shit.
Damn, really?
Damn.
Listen, I've played League of Legends 3 times. It's a fun game. I know there's a very rich lore. There's a huge demand for it. Like, absolutely go off. But there's great movies made every day. There's great TV shows made every day that I don't really give a shit about.
Damn. Okay. Bet. I'm completely buying. I recently started playing League of Legends like less than a year ago. And I got hooked from the start. I know that we're getting Jinx, V, and Vander, I think, are at least in the first few chapters. I am really excited to see where they take this, because the League of Legends has a raging fan base, like a like wild.
Raging is a good word for League of Legends fan base. Yeah,
I rage a lot too. But I'm also very excited, because I mean, if we're getting top tier video game inspired shows, this could just be the beginning, and maybe we won't get an Uncharted situation where the movie sucks and the series are great. So I mean, if you're gonna make a video game movie,
it's animated always does well. Animated always does well. If you want a good video game adaptation, just make it animate it always.
Damn it, why can't we just have What are you saying? Okay, I'm buying on this. I am hard selling on the Warcraft movie.
I'm saying the Warcraft movie was animated and it wasn't that good. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was great. I was like, I am hard selling on Warcraft.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as people say it. As someone who grew up playing World of Warcraft, it wasn't as. It was dumbed down. That was it.
Take your
It was just dumbed
W.
down.
Take your W with this damn poll, but never mention Warcraft as a good movie again.
People.
Oh, Mizu, we're screwed. Mizu, we're screwed. We're screwed. He's blowing us out. He's blowing us out bad. Okay.
But
are you buying or selling?
I'm definitely gonna buy. I actually watched the first 3 episodes of it because they're actually putting out like in a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So the first 3 episodes are out, and first of all, visually it looks amazing. It looks like it's straight from the the trailers. You ever seen a League of Legends like cinematic trailer? It looks just like that. It looks exactly just like that. It looks freaking amazing. The art style, animation. It's a mix of 2D and 3D animation. Looks freaking amazing. Definitely with Jose, that they're already established characters. Jinx. We see a child Echo in it as well. For those who know the character Echo. I also a big fan of League of Legends. I've been playing it since I want to say 2014.
Game has been around that long?
I played it for a hot while. I played it. I was there during the toxic times of League of Legends. Like every other day, I would call very unflattering names.
It started in 2009.
No,
Damn.
fucking, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's absolutely wild. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. Like the World of Warcraft does. Like they do cinematic trailers, and they're like the prettiest things you've ever seen. You're like, why can't the game look like this?
Definitely. Fair. And it's really good. I like how they do it. There's also some funny scenes, and I like how they the storytelling is also very interesting. So I can understand why a lot of people like it, and hopefully that might get more people into seeing more video game related series. Like, as we got, cool. Think about this. This is good. Castlevania is freaking amazing. So
the Dota show is actually pretty widely. Here's the thing though. Like, so the approach that I think of it is like, have you guys seen the Dota show?
No, I have not.
Yeah, no. That's exactly neat because you don't play Dota like that. So like it's like jumping into a universe that like you don't play the video game to is kind of like it's hard to get into. The Dota show is also apparently very, very good. But yeah, so I just I know that it's very good. 98% of people like the show, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, 9.4 on IMDb. Like it's fucking crushing it. It's doing very, very good. I don't need it. I don't need it in my life right now. I'm watching like 6 animes.
But League of Legends in itself is a good buy. I mean, there was really a time where they outsold the Super Bowl when they did their whole League of Legends tournament.
Oh yeah, bro. The League of Legends like sells out stadiums in Berlin, like soccer stadiums in Berlin. Football stadiums in Berlin and in Asia.
He's getting Americanized. Fake that. Puerto Rican. No, love it. Come to the sword.
You will die.
I'm kidding. Obviously,
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I actually have the numbers here. I was looking at it. The 2018 League of Legends World Championship had 38 million views in the first day. It was wild.
I would love that. Just once. I'll take that.
That's wild.
So I guess it's time to start playing League. All right, then that brings us to our last entry on the list. Probably the one that I'm the only one who knows anything about, TBH. The Army of Thieves, the new Zack Snyder movie that came out. That is a prequel to the Army of the Dead, I believe, which was about. I talked about it like 6 months ago, which is crazy because that movie did come out like 6 months ago, Army of the Dead. They're both Netflix exclusives. Dave Bautista and another myriad crew essentially cut through Las Vegas trying to get to a vault to like get some money or something. It was a good movie. It was a fun movie. It fell into that red notice area where you're like, this is dumb fun. Army of Thieves is a prequel about one of the characters from that going across, getting hired to go across Europe and break into 3 of these crazy vaults. I love bank heist movies so much. This is gonna sound like the most frat boy shit I've ever said. The Ocean's movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. I can watch them. I watch them anytime I see them on cable television. Like I will sit through the ads to watch an Ocean movies every single time. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. That's just me. I'm a sucker for it. The Italian Job, all of those kinds of movies. So I'm gonna watch the shit out of this movie because I love bank heist movies. What about you, Jose?
I love bank heist movies. Honestly, I think I would have had a better chance against Spider-Man 3 if I would have picked Now You See Me.
That's a great movie.
That is really good.
It's also a really bad movie.
The second one might be bad, but the first one is pretty good. I'm
right there with you. But if you like sit back and watch that movie like how objectively, you're like, oh yeah,
tough
times. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo like being like a turncoat in the second one was also not great. Yeah.
Damn it.
But the fact that Mark Ruffalo was in the movie was cool.
Yeah, and also Dave Franco. And Dave Franco did a great job there. So I'm buying because of the premise. I am slightly hesitant because I know that bank heist movies can either be great or ass. So I'll leave it there. Buy. Yeah, okay. Tentative buy. Yes.
Yep.
I also say it's a hesitant buy only because I haven't seen it yet, and I definitely agree with Jose that it's either a hit or a miss.
Okay.
Not really in between.
Okay. Cool. All right. So two tentative buys and an absolute all in for me. I believe that's all we had this week in terms of speed round, which leaves us to this little part where we say goodbye to you and you say goodbye to us. I have been Nixie Comedy on TikTok, NC Hammer 23 on YouTube and Twitch. Just put up a 30-minute video covering all things Phantom Troop and Hunter x Hunter. Took me 3.5 hours to film. Absolutely flopped because it wasn't about Naruto. It would mean a lot to me if you went and watched it. Jose, where can they find you?
I'm Tropical Joe on TikTok and Instagram. I am on the opposite side of things in terms of using TikTok. I think I'm getting at that point where I think I'm gonna start focusing more just on YouTube.
Off in 2 months. 2 months on my current projections. 100K on YouTube. I'm gone. I'm so excited. Holy shit.
Dude, you're absolutely crushing it. As soon as I can get some sort of traction on YouTube, I think you guys are gonna see me there a lot. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow, Thursday, and Saturday. Call of Duty Vanguard for 2 days, and then starting my Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order journey on Sunday. But the main thing this week is obviously you guys going to YouTube, seeing our damn podcast, our Patreon episode, and this one as well, because we want to get partnered and bring you as much content as we can, where we change nothing except giving you the best content possible. That's also, I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram. I have put up the poll. Unfortunately, just to give you a preliminary taste to the people that have not voted yet today. Unfortunately, our boy Nick is absolutely running the freaking table. And it looks like I'm going to be in last place. Holy shit. Okay, bet. So 47% yes.
At least I'm not last for now.
83%.
I'm gonna go vote.
83% for Spider-Man 3, and then 48% for Underworld. So I think Mizu and I are gonna be fighting off for the bronze medal. We're gonna be fighting for the bronze medal for the coming day. But Nick, enjoy your win. Enjoy your win.
Thank you.
Mizu, where can they find you?
You guys can find me still on TikTok. I'm not really going anywhere yet. That's also because I don't have the necessary stuff for right now to transfer over to YouTube. But I'm also, like I said, growing my Instagram more, doing more, not just anime related stuff, but broader stuff. But TikTok still for me is home. I still do very well. I still reach out to people and it's still fun for me. So I definitely will still be on TikTok for you guys.
Good for you. That's very impressive. That's Buddhist level calm headness. That is very, very impressive. I honor. It's very interesting. But yes, thank you guys for hitting the follow button, for listening all the way to the end here. We very much appreciate it. And like we said, guys, go ahead and give the Patreon a little follow if you want to hear more of our voices. You want to hear us cover the Eternals in depth, talk to the Panda Red, fantastic interview, lovely person, great cosplays, just someone that we all admire and that we wanted to get on the podcast for a long time. So yeah, if you want to hear that, the patreon.com/the Weeb Weekly. Go on, pop on over there, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, we're going to have to kick it to the outro.